All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm so excited. My name is Bethany Shipley. If I don't know you personally, then I am so excited. We're going to jam pack this call full of information, make it valuable and worth your time. If you got a text for me today and you're like, who the heck is this girl? I, somewhere in your lineage of Young Living, am part of your family. So I wanted to start off with that call. We are family because that's how I feel. And actually, at the very top of my screen, I see my mom, Sonia, who's my actual mom, and she's going to help teach this class too. So when I introduce you, you'll have a little context for that. We have been doing Young Living. Well, I've been doing Young Living, using Young Living oils, using Young Living products for 7 years. I've been intentionally growing the family, growing the team for 6 years, and now we have around a little over 7,000 members in our organization. And so our whole goal with this call is to help you know how to use your oils, help you welcome you into our club, if you will, and just let you know you made a great decision. So let's start off this call with a $25 product credit. If you are here, check in the chat. I'm going to give you one lucky winner a $25 credit to Young Living, and I'm going to hopefully teach you how to use some oils that you already got. So according to the form that we sent out for RSVP, most of you got started with a premium starter kit. So just grab the little chat and write where you're coming in from, and I'll pick a winner from the chat for that $25 gift card. So or account credit. So most everyone got started with a premium starter kit. And so I want to tell you kind of my story and how I use the starter kit, my top 4 oils from the starter kit and how I use them. Okay. So it was 7 years ago, and I had just had a miscarriage. I was, my whole world was totally shook because I thought I was a healthy individual. I thought I work out, I eat right, I do all the things, I check all the boxes. And so when we were entering into our second trimester, when all the Google websites, all the things I looked at said you're safe, you could imagine my surprise when we didn't find a heartbeat. And I'll never forget the devastation and the discouragement. I remember walking out of that appointment thinking to myself, this can't be normal. The doctor acted like it was normal, and not in a rude way, but she just was consoling me, saying, hey, this happens. It happens to a lot more people than you'd expect. And I'm like, how is this normal? How does this doesn't seem possible, right? Shouldn't happen. Even though it's normal or it's common, it shouldn't be normal. And so I started doing some research. I ended up meeting a woman the next day or within a few days who asked me if I had ever heard of essential oils. And I was like, no, I have no idea what essential oils are. I literally imagined a gallon or a half gallon of olive oil when she said essential oil. I also imagined like changing the oil in a car. I had no idea what it was about. So she said, hey, why don't you come over to my house? I'm going to teach you all about it. So I sat at her kitchen table and she started walking me through this book that showed protocols of like, hey, if you have this problem, use this oil. And I was like, but if this really worked, like if all of these oils really worked for what they're saying, then why wouldn't more people know about it? Why in the world would it be this like great hidden secret? Why wouldn't more people be using these things? So she told me, hey, call into a class at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So I called. I got on my phone, called freeconferencecall.com. I'll never forget it. And I listened to an hour-long presentation, a 101 class about kind of honestly, like, hey, how these oils can't be patented because they're plants. They can't be patented because even if they're the same thing and they're treated the same way, this lavender plant is going to get a different amount of sunlight than this lavender plant. So it's going to have different naturally occurring chemical constituents. So I started learning how it couldn't be patented, therefore there couldn't be any markups and a lot of money made on it. And I thought, well, then why, if they're so powerful, aren't they sold in the grocery store? And then I started learning about the model of this business and how, oh my gosh, there are stories that we have to share that cannot be printed on flyers because they would be seen as medical claims, or they'd be seen as claims of things that the oils could do, when really every oil works in a human body differently. So my experience might be different than yours, and your experience might be different than mine. Therefore, if we put it on the shelf in Walmart, not everyone would have those stories shared. So they had to structure this model like a family where I'm going to tell you what works for me. You're going to tell me what works for you. And I was really into that idea. And so I was definitely not interested in sharing. I was definitely not interested in doing the business side of it, but I'm like, that's kind of cool. So that's kind of the intro to how I got into this thing. I ordered a starter kit, much like you probably did, and then they sat on my shelf for an entire year because I did not know how to use them. What I had heard was you just put one drop here or there and your whole life will change. And that didn't happen for me. And so I thought these don't work. They're a scam, but hey, I'll use them for the smell. But I'm going to keep the candles. So took me a year to realize that they're actually not like, oh, one drop and you're magically healed. You know, there are sometimes that does work for people, but most of the time it's early and often, and you learn how to use them in different ways and incorporate them into your daily life, and you'll see overall changes. So much like I didn't have a life-changing switch when I started my diet yesterday, it's going to take some time. Anybody feel me on that? You know, it's going to take some time. It's going to take habits. That's very similar to how the oils have worked for me. And so I have gone from horrible hormones that didn't work, that were all over the place. Now, 7 years later, I'm so blessed to have 4 beautiful children, none of which have ever been on an antibiotic, not because I wouldn't, but because they haven't needed it. I could cry talking about this. None of them have ever gone to the doctor for sickness. They've been healthy. They have had sicknesses just like all other kids, but they have been supported in their immune system. So I'm going to teach you how to use oils really quickly here in 3 different ways. The first way is you can use oils internally. Now, not every oil should be taken internally. I'm pretty brave with my oils, but the ones that you can take internally are going to have a white label. So if you look at your premium starter kit, you'll notice some of these labels are white, some of them are not white. The ones that are white, those are they're called Vitality. They're designed literally for internal ingestion. Now, let's say you have a lemon oil that has a white label, and you also have a lemon oil that has a yellow label. Is there any difference in the oil? The answer is no. You can do what you want with each lemon oil. The reason why there's a lemon oil that doesn't have a white label isn't because of quality. It's because there needs to be a specific label, not multiple uses, but one use on each label. So it is a way to be congruent or compliant with it's like the FDA. They have a requirement where you have to have one specific use on each label. So when you have your lemon oil and you're wondering if you could take it internally, I'm telling you there's no difference between that oil and the white label. The fact that it comes in a white label tells you it is also okay for internal ingestion. Hopefully that makes sense and I didn't just confuse you further. I like to take oils internally by putting them in a glass cup of water. You do not want to use plastics. There's a little safety tip for you. And I like to use, out of the starter kit, lemon for detoxing. If I have a headache that seems to be related to eating something really bad, like let's say I went and had food that had MSG in it, I would have kind of like this sluggish feeling the day after. Or maybe I ate Thanksgiving dinner and felt kind of sluggish after. Tonight would be a great time to try this. Put 1 drop of lemon oil in your glass cup and watch how you feel in 15 minutes. This is one of those oils for me that does it really quickly. Another way that I like to take oils, and this is where, you know, you might have a differing opinion than me. I hate the smell of DiGize. If you've gotten your starter kit and you have DiGize, let me know if you hate it or if you're cool with it. I hate the smell of it. I cannot stand it. However, it works even though it doesn't smell good. So if you don't like a smell, you can still use it. Now for me, I'm not going to use DiGize topically. It's for tummy stuff. It's for if your stomach is sick. I'm not going to use it topically because I hate the smell. So the way that I take that is I have a little empty pill capsule. I pop it open and I drop 2 drops in. And you can get those empty pill capsules on Amazon or Young Living or whatever. Just a few drops in there, and then you take it just like you would a pill. So that is internal. Now I'm going to introduce you to my mom. My mom is like the nicest person in the world. You're going to love her. She's going to share how you can use oils in another way.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Bethany. And I'm with you. I don't like the smell of DiGize. And when I first got my starter kit, I got into essential oils. My daughter just kept asking me, believing in me, Mom, you got to try these things. And I was slow to the party, almost 3 years. It took me a while to get here. But hey, it actually worked. And slowly over time, I saw her dynamic change. And I ordered the starter kit. And this beautiful diffuser came with the starter kit. Can you see it? Let me make sure. I can't see myself on here. Let's see. Maybe that's something I'm doing
I
wrong.
can see you, and I can see your diffuser. Hopefully everyone else can
Okay,
too.
cool. All right, so you get your diffuser, and I don't know if you're like me, but some people get intimidated by things that have, um, that have parts and pieces, and it's like the TV and the Chromecast and all that. It gets confusing, and so there are people who get their starter kits that sit and let it sit in a box for a long time. We don't want you to do that. I want you to get it out, touch it, hold it, take it apart, mess around with it. I'm just kind of like, what is this? It's okay. Now I have the light. I already have this light on. If I turn that, you can see it goes right off. There's a button that's closest to on the left side that will turn the light on. Kind of, you see how it's blinking now because it doesn't have any water in it. So we're going to put some water in it. And when I first did this, I was super duper careful, and I would take it to the sink, unplug it. And now I'm like, why did I do that? So here's the thing. You have a cute little measuring option right here in the starter kit. I mean, right here in the diffuser. It's the little hat that goes right on top. It's kind of like your measuring stick, and it has a little hole. Key, hold your finger on the bottom of that little hat, and you can pour your water in there, and it's like exactly measured because there's a little line. And it shows you now if you're going directly into the diffuser, there's also a line there, but I feel like this is just easier. Let me see if I can hold this up. So you could just now unplug your finger, and look, the water's gonna just go right in perfectly. It's not over the fill line. And let me tell you why that's really important. If you go over the fill line, you're going to be texting the person that introduced you to oils, and you're going to say, something's wrong with my diffuser. It's not spitting out enough. It's not working. The first thing you need to check is that you didn't overfill. And that happens to people quite a lot. The second thing that can happen is that you'll notice there's a little notch in the little hat part, and that fits on the notch that's on your diffuser. And so you're going to put that on, and you see how it can get wonky? Like that's not on. There's a space. So you want to make sure it's completely flush. And I'm going to pick it up, look at it, and put it down again. It's perfectly flat now. And I didn't put any oils in yet. So let's do that together. So if you have your diffuser around you, go grab 2 or 3 oils. My favorite in the starter kit, if you haven't diffused Peace and Calming yet, I want you to go grab that. And I'm sitting here at my RV table, and I actually have several diffusers because I'm obsessed with diffusers. I feel like they add so much ambiance, but also it's a way to get these great botanicals into your lungs. You're receiving them in a different, like Bethany talked about, ingesting them. Imagine that's going through your digestive system, and your body's receiving that in one way. But the other way is to get it into your olfactory system and into your lungs. Your body's going to receive it differently. So we're going to you can go anywhere from 5 drops. You could put 10 drops. There's no wrong way to do this. If you're kind of a little bit cautious, you could put 2 drops. So I'm going to go in the middle. Let's do 3 drops together. We're just going to put it right in. Now, some people put their oils before they put the water. Some people put the oils after. I've noticed if you wait until you put your water and then put your oils, you get a little bit higher burst of aroma when you turn your diffuser on. So that's kind of what I'm after. So there's no wrong way to go about it. So let's put our little cap right back on, make sure it's nice and flat. Put our top on. The little button to your left is going to turn it on, and it's so cool because this is just beautiful. As you could just do that one button and you're good. But if you want to play around, you can go to the next button to the right, and you can change colors, and you can go all the way to the end and even turn it off. So when you're sleeping, you don't have a light going, but during the day, you obviously want something beautiful happening. So I just keep clicking till I get into the one that's in my mood. I'm like, I'm going with the candle flicker. Candle flicker is what I do most often. That's click number 3. So write that down. Click number 3 gives you the candle flicker. Now I could also, that first button that turned it on can also change, and this is all in your little pamphlet, but who likes to read? I don't like to read pamphlets. I like somebody to show me. So if I hit that button one more time, it's still going to be on. It's just going to be intermittent. And then I have one that actually slows it down. So now it's off. So I'm going to go back to the first one. That's my favorite because it's easiest. click it one time, click the second button 3 times, or go all the way through the lights, get the mood you want, and put your head over it. You're going to love it. The other thing that I wanted to share is that my friend Tammy taught me this, because sometimes putting what oils are going to go together in this thing, right? Like, you know, I just put peace and calming in there, but maybe you want to play around with scents. You can take the tops off. This one is lemon and this one is Valor, and both of these come in your premium starter kit. Let's see what this would smell like if we use them together. And I take the tops off and then put it together under my nose. Oh my gosh, I really like that. And I didn't waste the drops in the diffuser to figure it out. I'm just swirling it around, and if I want a little bit more, I can kind of cheat to the side. And when Tammy showed me this, my whole world exploded with creativity, because I am, you know, an artist at heart, and I'm just like, this is opening up a whole new world. So then I just kept playing around. So I have some favorites. You want, for certain reasons, like if I'm just going for this scent and for calm, I'm going to do peace and calming in this, probably with even a tree oil like cedarwood and lavender, because I just love those together. But if I'm going to go for an afternoon pick-me-up, it stands to reason I'm probably going to grab that peppermint, and maybe I'm going to do it with a little bit of citrus fresh. So I'll grab these two, smell them together. And when I did this at first, it kind of felt like, am I ever going to remember this? But now it's just so second nature. I know the mood, I know what I want. And so I just want to just admonish and like encourage to play around and not be scared. Don't be scared of your oils. If you have timidity toward it, every single day, step number 1 would just be open up every single oil you have every single day and just sniff it. Because your body is going to have this response. And it sounds crazy to say that, but it's like over time, I almost now feel like I have mine on the shelf above me. I almost feel intuitively drawn to one without even smelling it now. And that didn't happen initially. Initially, I felt intimidated and I didn't know what I want. I just thought, I didn't know what to do with them. Okay, the last thing I want to share with you is that if you haven't yet used your diffuser as a replacement for candles, really want to encourage that during this season. And if you're somebody who's not really sure about why you want to kind of forgo the candles right now, there's a lot of research on what that's doing to your lungs. The fragrance, the word fragrance is just chemical. It means chemicals, literally. So if you want to do some research on why you don't want to be burning those candles, I know it's hard during the season. So I suggest getting some LED candles and get your diffuser going. And if you don't want to throw them away yet, if you feel like I'm not so sure about this, put them underneath your sink for 3 months. Just 3 months, put them away and use your diffuser and see if you can start to tell a difference, because I was having awful hormone problems. I was eating everything that I thought I should do. I was taking all supplements and my body was really struggling. Not one time did I ever consider that candles were affecting my hormones. I just didn't put it together. So now that I have these options, that's why I have the little diffusers all over the place, and I'm in an RV. You can collect and kind of make that switch over time. And I'm telling you, there's not anything. If you need a little dupe kind of guideline, go to your favorite education group that we have all over the place with this team, and check out candle recipes. In the education group, you're going to be so surprised at the combos. That's what I got for you, Bethany.
Love it. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. And yeah, I totally echo that. I was totally like, I don't want to get rid of my candles. I love candles at the beginning, and I was having asthma attacks like all the time, and I had no idea that they were related until like I started using my Raven oil, started using RC, and those are 2 oils that are kind of, the Raven comes in your kit you'll use for your respiratory system. I was like, okay, wow, I actually have now been 7 years without an inhaler, so that's pretty awesome. Okay, so I forgot to do the giveaway. The $25 giveaway goes to Claudia Figures. Congratulations, I'll be sending that, I'll be putting that on your account tonight. They'll update it in the next few days. It's the last day of the month, so they take a little bit of time, but I'll be emailing into Diamond Support to get that $25. And then with the internal oils, what I wanted to mention is that Young Living has supplements that have oils in them. So if you're like, man, I don't want to make my own oils, I'm gonna go ahead and give away right now on the chat Type in what is a supplement that you use right now that you're like, I wonder if Young Living would have something in equivalent. Maybe you take a B vitamin, maybe you take a multivitamin. Put in the chat what you take right now, one supplement, and I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. But in her defense, this is just literally pills that are literally full of thieves, oregano, and lemongrass. And what this is for is when you start feeling like you're coming down with something, you start taking these. I know many people who will not travel on a plane without these, who will, and so if you're like me and you'd rather just buy it, there's an option for you. I'm going to give this away to one person who comments there in the chat on about supplements that you take right now. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, I love these comments, and I'll pick a winner here in a second. All right. Let's move into topically. Topically, I'm going to give away this roller. All right, so for this giveaway, I'll pick from the same answer. So if you've commented once, you've commented twice, if you will. So, what am I saying? Topically, I'm kind of lost my train of thought. I use oils topically all the time. This is usually how I use it. I usually drop oils on my wrist and I rub it together and I smell it. This is Valor. I use this for confidence and for grounding when I feel a little bit nervous. I use this in my 3rd trimester before I had a home birth. I use it when I'm having postpartum blues. I love Valor. So I usually just use it directly on my skin. Sometimes I'll use it behind my ears. Sometimes I'll use it on the top of my head. Now here's the deal. If you have really sensitive skin, you might want to add a carrier oil. Carrier oil is like olive oil or coconut oil. So here I have a roller that I made. I'm going to give away a roller. And if one of our brave men on here wins this, I'm sending you a different roller. I'm not sending you this roller. So not the pink sparkles. But yeah, what I do is I literally just put a few drops in the roller and I fill it up with coconut oil or I fill it up with olive oil. There is a fractionated coconut oil that is actually liquid, so you don't have to like cram a bunch of solid coconut oil in your roller. And what that does is it dilutes it down so that your skin has more time to absorb it. It doesn't absorb as fast, and it also helps evaporate it into the air, or not evaporate into the air. It helps it stay on your skin. So I'll be giving away this and this here in a second. 4 things before I pass it on to my mom. We're gonna wrap up here. I'm sorry for the person that's missing everything. We'll just have to send you the replay. Feel bad. She probably can't even hear me say that, but I'll send you the replay. So I'm not really sure. Number 1, we have a Facebook group called OQ, and you're welcome to join that. We post recipes. There's units with literally everything from how to use oils in your animals to pregnancy and delivery to diffuser recipes to welcome start here, literally everything you can imagine. So if you need to be added into that chat, or I'm sorry, into that Facebook group, connect with the person who invited you or send me a Facebook message. My name is Bethany Shipley, and you can send me a Facebook message and say, hey, add me into OQ. I'll be happy to do that for you. Number 2, on Monday nights at this same time, at this same place, we have a class going on. Next week is oils for weight loss. So if you want to learn specific things in that group, OQ, there's an events tab, it says events. You can click that and learn about all the events that are happening. Number 3, use a referral link, and you are welcome to share Young Living with anyone that you want. So if you hear at Christmas time that your aunt is having trouble with joints and aching, you can share your referral link with them, and that's as easy as pumpkin pie. And then number 4, I have a gift for every single person who is brand new on this call. We want to welcome you to the team. So welcome you to the family. So I'm going to put a little link in the chat. And while I'm sending that right there, you can fill that out, grab it, fill it out now, fill it out later. I would love to share with you that in this package, this little gift that I'm sending you, I'm going to be sending you what's called a transfer buying form. And it's very easy. It says, what products do you use? And a transfer buying form on the front page has a bunch of products that you probably already use in your home. So you're talking like, yeah, do I use hand sanitizer? Check. You check the box. Do I use a B complex? I'm looking at here, a checkbox. Do I use, I'm seeing what people are using. Let's see, a caffeine one. Do I use an energy drink? Check box, right? So when you turn the page, the back page will have every product that Young Living has that's comparable. So if you check the box for a B complex, on the other side, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, Young Living's B is called Super B. So you'll clearly have an idea of what you could shift and buy from Young Living instead of what you already buy. And the cool thing about buying from Young Living is they have a program called Essential Rewards. And the Essential Rewards is magical because they give you money back and free stuff. You might already be on the program, but my mom is going to share how she was a member for a long time, didn't see any benefit, and then she was in a health crisis, and I encouraged her to do one thing. She utilized this program called Essential Rewards. It's a customized box. You can order it monthly. She might explain that, but it changed everything for her. So mom, maybe just like three minutes or so.
Yeah, sounds great. And actually that's perfect, because kind of what really changed everything for me was, and I don't wish this for you, but being in a crisis kind of opened you up to listen a little bit harder, maybe even to be a little more humbled about what you don't know, because you are in an area of need. And I don't want that for you, but that was the place that I was in when my daughter just confronted me, and I already had a diffuser. I'd gotten like a diffuser, gosh, a couple years before that, because she was already connected with oils. I'm like, sure, I'll support you. I'll get oils. And I had a diffuser going every now and then, but I still was burning my candles. I was still putting toxic things on my body every day. I was still not really thinking about that in relationship to what was happening. And that was, Lyme disease and thyroid disease and mast cell activation disorder. It doesn't matter what it is. My point is that you have those things that are tagged in your medical chart. And I really want to encourage you to just kind of think about this with me, just like she asked me, I'm going to ask you. What would it look like for you to try 3 things consistently for 3 months? Just 3. Like, don't overthink it. Let's not talk about every product that Young Living has. Let's just learn about 3 things. How are you going to know what 3 things to use? Well, probably you have some fires that are raging. It could be like me, I had thyroid and hormone issues severely that were actually feeding into the other issue. It was almost like that was like the match that would light the whole thing on fire. And so she said, let's just do 3 things for 3 months. And she got me started on Thiamine for the thyroid, Endoflex for adrenal glands and endocrine support, and Progessence Plus for female hormone balance. So these were the 3 things that I put on Essential Rewards and committed to these 3 things for 3 months. And I didn't even know what to do with these. I just knew she said this was what I should do. And so when they came, she said, just start putting it on, putting a couple of drops on your tongue, putting some on your thyroid. And I got into such a routine. And about 3 weeks in, this is perfect. So my three minutes are probably up. But for 3 minutes, I hope that I have encapsulated, grab 3 things, commit to 3 months. I used 3 drops, every single day, in and on, and I took 2 of these every single night. And in 3 weeks, I've never looked back. And that was almost 3 years ago now. And my energy returned. My hormones started to become balanced. I started to learn about the candles and all the parabens and phthalates and toxins I was breathing and putting on. And I started to ditch them slowly. With the buyer form that she's going to send you for being on this call tonight, you're going to have like a little checklist. You're not going to do it all at once. You're just going to pick 3 things. And so that's the admonition, is like, oh my gosh, we could all do 3 things for 3 months. And if you think about it, that's December, January, February. By the end of February, you're going to know what's working. I knew in 3 weeks. It didn't take me 3 months. And if you're already taking a multivitamin, you could grab the master formula. If you're already taking a B vitamin from somewhere else, you need to try Young Living Super B. If you're already taking a D, you probably need to. And the Super D is one that's like unmatched, vegan version, amazing. So I could go on and on about supplements. It gets me so jazzed. I get so excited because I get the text where people saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much this is making me feel so different. And I'm just over there like cheering, and we want to cheer for you. So the next step for you is to contact the person that invited you to this class and say, hey, I want to do 3 things for 3 months. Help me pick those things.
Love it. Oh, awesome. Okay, one last thing I forgot to mention, which is you might be thinking, Bethany, why didn't you teach me how to use the oils? In your little gift that I'm going to send you, I'm going to send you a little tiny book that has all the oils in it, and it shows you exactly what to do, what those oils are good for. So if you're like, hey, I don't know how to use frankincense, like I didn't know, I'm going to give you this little book, and it's going to tell you exactly what to do. You may have already gotten something like this from the person who enrolled you, but just in case, just take it, and then you can give it to the person who you enroll next or whatever. So Yeah, so in addition to supplements, they have like home products, like Thieves Cleaner is literally the best. Deodorant, I just use the lip balm. That's the best. It doesn't dry your lips out. Hand sanitizer. Like, these are things that you're going to want in your life. So check out Essential Rewards. It's the best product or best like delivery thing I've ever been on. And I'm literally like the last person that would be interested in something like that. But I love these products. Like, I even order, like I just ordered today, like granola bars, because they have granola bars and my kids are so picky. So anyway, you'll find something that you love. So I'm going to go ahead and send that form one more time so you can get your free gift. Again, I'm going to send you that transfer buying form, and I'm going to send you the Little Essential Oils book. The giveaway of the roller bottle is Nicole Moore. Congratulations. I'm going to send this to you. And then the giveaway of the inner defense is Bailey Jenkins. And I'm so excited because I just happened to see that, Bailey, when you wrote in what you would use, you said anything for immune support, and literally inner defense is absolutely for immune support. Like, if that is what you're going for here, you are going to love this. So I'll get those sent out, and then, don't forget to fill out that form that I just put in the chat so I can give you your free gift. If you have any questions whatsoever, please contact me, either the phone number that I texted you or on Facebook or anything. So thankful for you guys being here. Have an amazing night, and hopefully we'll see you next week on our class for oils and weight management. Bye, guys.